I would really love you to tell me how you felt when you heard the explanation with regards to the fuel subsidy probe, or specifically Ige Mokwede's report on that probe. You know, even the president said he felt so angered by that particular report initially. Report making the rounds that we had this huge amount being fretted away by Nigerians until that report came out, and it was so insignificant, meaning there were no cabals after all.
Well, again, the issue goes behind beyond just what the president said. And when I read that report, you know, let me give you an example. When Adams Oshomole was the Labour leader, you find that every statement he made were based on fact, because he did his research properly before coming out to. When the government came around and said, look, this is the position, he said, no, but this is the current position, unless, you know. But in this case, maybe it is possible that they're trying to pretend to look good, or not to look as bad as people think that they, you know. I don't feel that they're telling us the whole truth. Okay, there could be a cover up somewhere in that aspect, because it's quite obvious. Okay, I have done some little investigation in the oil and gas as far back as 2007, 2008. And, you know, like I keep saying that somebody told me that if you want to get into oil business, it's either two things, because I asked him to help a friend of mine. And he said, is your friend a card-carrying member of PDP? I said, no, he's not even partisan. Okay, is he a crook? I said, no, he's a good Christian. And I said, sorry, can't do oil business. And that tells a lot what goes on in there. Because, you know, it's like, I did an article some years ago on that. And that an MD of NNPC will spend time getting, sorting out some political IOUs, getting notes. Even while I was at NNPC, a former governor being accused of defrauding the state came with a note that he should be giving some oil this thing. So if you're saying that there's no, you know, the picture they're painting is not as bad as the people Nigerians believe, there is heavy rot in that system.
But that doesn't mean that legitimate business is not going on in that
No, legitimate business is going on, no doubt. Okay. Legitimate business is going on.
You know what I take out of that, sorry to cut you there, Dr. Mweze, is, you know, we run away most times, you know, hearsay stories. I'm sure that's what he tried to refer to as the Molo gist, that someone got gist from the bus. But again, in all of this, sometimes it looks like it's true after all, because when you fill the polls, you know, over time, when you tell a lie and the frequency with which you tell the same lie, it makes it true. But on this one, if you look at comments by Nigerians on this, they say, no, this can't be a lie. Someone must have taken that huge amount of money, all in the name of oil business.
Yeah, but again, another story I read somewhere said that part of that money was used to run the 2011 election. That was the most expensive election ever in the history of Nigeria. And just again to say that, let me just mention what Bill Gates...
Was that from the opposition, any of the opposition parties?
Well, I don't know, but it was just a statement. I don't know where the people belong to, whether it's possible the opposition trying to, you know, but they believe that the most expensive election in the history of Nigeria. And part of that money was used to finance that. And Bill Gates said that, look, they're talking about companies, and you know, he said that companies or organizations should spend more time teaching their people financial information rather than hiding it from them, because they'll be better off when they know the true situation. Okay. So government should spend time communicating the true situation, you know, positively, and again, I agree when, you know, like Mr. President said, I don't know.
Mr. Windsor, you know that the President had a reply to those people who thought that, you know, he used the funds from the oil subsidy crisis actually went to funding his campaign. He said, some people said that I use this money for my campaigns, if that was the case, I would actually leave them there so that they could actually fund the next one as well. Did you hear that particular part, or was I the only one that heard
No, I didn't hear that last part.
Yes, I do remember that he said something to that effect, you know, as to how, you know, that money did not go to funding his campaign. But how much weight do you give that statement?
Well, the thing is that the oil, what is going on, that did not start today. Remember, in the past, there have been 2.8 billion, the same oil money, dollars. And again, so you find that Nigerians are used to hearing huge sums of money missing from NNPC, oil money missing. So when that happened, well, at a point, because I was wondering, that election was too expensive, you know, and
you participated in it.
Yes, I participated.
So you understood how much money was flying around.
In fact, I was played out because you know, I couldn't sustain I didn't have the financial muscle to continue. I have good intentions, but
so you need some money back.
I need some money. I need some money. In fact, I said, but Mr. President, if that money went towards or that oil money went into campaign, why didn't you give me part of it so that I could also, you know? But there's some, you know, in every rumor there's also always some element of truth, and again, why give room? And that's what Bill Gates was talking about. Why give room, you know, for people to speculate, you know, to gossip and all that?
Okay.
Why don't you tell them the truth? Come up, respond. What you say and the time and the channel you say it, you know, is very, very key.
In this case now, he says about ASUU strike, politics may have crept in. This is beyond 2009 agreement. Do you think they're giving room for speculation here?
Well, he's also trying to play safe and to give Nigerians another way of thinking, to maybe set an agenda, maybe bringing politics to it. And but before now, one would have, when he said politics, what people may quickly think that is these rebel governors. Maybe they were the ones, you know, making these people not to go back.
But he further explained. He said, for instance, in part of the demand, how can they be asking, that's ASUU, that federal government's assets be handed over to them when they don't have any asset management company? And he goes on. He says, look, for instance, even this boils down to their end allowance, which he thinks is the crux of the matter. That couldn't they fund that from the internally generated revenue? Who holds them accountable for that?
You know, Chamberlain, I'm happy that he made that statement. When in 2006, Ford Foundation sponsored the training of, the training of university lecturers or university system to be more independent, to fund their expenditure.
Financial autonomy.
Yes. Now, what they did, I went to some universities. I remember going to Othman Danfodio University in Sokoto, and I was talking to the vice chancellor was there, and the provost, all the people, they were all there. And I told them, look, the body language of the federal government, right back as far back as 2006, I said the body language of the federal government tells me that they are no longer interested in funding education. And that's why, you know, the Ford Foundation is saying, look, we want you to be financially autonomous. And I asked them, what if government says today we are no longer interested, we will no longer fund you? What are you going to do? And one of the senior people there, I've forgotten who he was, but he said something that they were going to train their students, jokingly. You know, he said it jokingly, that they're going to train their students to take over government so that they can be funding education. And it just tells me that they're not ready. And we went for 2 years. We went to universities and we showed them the strategies and now to build endowments and all that. Because government is no longer interested in funding education. Fully
or in part?
Fully.
Okay.
And then they're no longer interested in funding health. Those are the two things that, you know, and I'm happy that it came up in that interview with the Mr. President. So these are the things just to confirm, you know, that universities should find ways. We have told them ways they can begin to innovate. He told them to generate revenue internally. And there are several ways they can do that. We gave them some idea how to be innovative. Now, research is taken away from universities. And universities, in this knowledge economy, you need to build up your research capacities in universities so that you can link the industries and the government.
All right. Okay, I'm afraid you'll have to end it there. Thank you for coming on, Dr. Austin Wise of Pan Atlantic University.